And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final episode of Geek Society, you guys. It's gonna be the final episode, but don't worry, I'll still be here, for next semester. So roughly around January, I would believe, 18th, I'll be back. So yeah, I'll be gone for about a month, but don't worry, guys. After I'm hanging out with my family, I'll tell you some more new stories. Very interesting ones. First off, I'm gonna shout out to the preview segments on the YouTube channel that you guys are already probably looking at. These are just small versions of my actual podcast. It's just like some highlights, I would say, and I'm gonna continue to do the same thing. So that you guys can view the podcast. Actually rather than listen to it. So you can view it on something else if you can't find the station, and it can help you, get close to WNTI, that way, so it helps out a lot of people. But anyway, this is your host, the Mystery Man, here on Geek Society, and we're going to continue on with our show. And we're going to start with two headlines, and that is going to be the Sonic movie poster and the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer. And when I saw the first pretty much just the only trailer, but when I saw the trailer for Mortal Kombat, man, the 11th one, I was like, man, at first I was getting, hyped because it was the action piece, but action set pieces and all that stuff, the fighting and whatnot was always, very impressive. But when I kept looking at it, like 5, 6, 10 times in a row, I was like, man, I like this game even more. I feel like, personally my favorite one was I think, like Mortal Kombat X, was my favorite trailer, because it was just so, cinematic, in the woods, like where Scorpio was fighting Sub-Zero, and now in the 11th trailer, like Mortal Kombat 11, Scorpio was fighting like an evil Raiden. If you guys who may not be familiar with these characters, I'll just go on my natural search on my local computer right here, so I can do some research for you guys who may not be familiar with it. And here we go. I'm gonna get a definition out there. Actually, here we go. Let me get like an actual precise definition of it, Okay, here we go. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Mortal Kombat, countable and uncountable plural Mortal Kombat, fighting to the death, a physical fighting between persons or groups wherein each side is attempting to attack and kill one another in any spirited competition between persons or groups. And for the 11th summary, so that you guys are caught off to speed, so I don't want you guys to be left in the loop. Here we go. Okay, it doesn't have much of a description. Let me see if I can get some description out there. Here we go. The trailer sees an evil-looking Raiden hammering a scorpion in an expectedly and bleak landscape. Though we don't get any gameplay in the trailer, it may be safe to say that 11 is a continuation of the much-loved Mortal Kombat X, a game that ended with Raiden hungry for revenge. Okay, so basically, if I'll get like a definition for Raiden, and I'll get a definition for Raiden. I'll just describe him, so I can so you guys don't feel like you're too lost or whatever, because I don't want guys left in the loop. For Raiden, he's basically like I'll have like a picture on like the previews, when I have the previews on the channel. So Raiden is basically he's like a demigod, He has the power of lightning. He's like think of him as like a Japanese version of Zeus, He just has the same powers as Zeus, He has a different ethnicity, but that makes him cooler. He has like the nice sumo hat, Not sumo, I probably messed that up, but he has a really nice hat, It's very cylinder, and he has like very, ancient, clothing outfits, really, really, humble and, well, not humble, but, really wise dude, a wise dude. He's part of Earth Realm, which is basically our world, and he's like the leader. He helps gather other fighters for Earth Realm. To fight other realms. That's where more combat takes place. It's realms. That's what they call them. And yeah, it's pretty much it. I'll have like the link in the description down below. But for you guys to listen to my podcast, the trailer's out on YouTube, and it's Mortal Kombat 11, and it should be out, really widespread. There's a whole bunch of funny reactions to it, and everything. It's crazy. And as for Sonic, the movie poster, I would say, when I first saw it, I'll probably have like a picture of it. Yeah, the movie poster I think was because I already got like what was it like I think I heard there was going to be an announcement from Illumination Pictures or Studios, the same people who made The Grinch and the beloved, Despicable movies, that they're going to make the new Mario movie. And while they're making the new Mario movie, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, I'm not sure what the title is, and they're going to make the Sonic movie. I'm not sure who's going to make it. I forgot who, let me see. I forgot the studio, but the poster, let me say what the poster looks like so far. Poster looks nice to an extent. I feel like I feel like it would have been better to show more of the character off, a little more, a little more obviously, rather than just, kind of, coat him in like shadow and silhouette. I feel like, it works better if you just show them, but I feel like if they do, they'll probably get a whole bunch of, bad, memes, of all of them, It would just look bad. It would just look terribly bad, ladies and gentlemen, but personally, I feel like it's fine. I feel like the fur is realistic. Just like the Pokemon trailer. The fur looks fine, and that is Marvel related, of course, and is gonna be Spider-Man Far From Home new stealth costume, and I'll have like a picture of probably right now. Okay, I think it's up. Cool. All right, and for those of you listening, it's on. I'm sure if you go on Google, and you type in, Spider-Man Far From Home stealth suit, then it should pop up. It's like basically him in a black suit, and it has like a little article for me to read. So, yeah, I'll just read a little bit of it that I might just talk about because it's just a picture of him, so it's not really much to talk about, but don't worry. Anyway, after seeing a display which provided a great look at Spider-Man noir-inspired stealth suit, which Tom Holland will be wearing in the upcoming feature, we've now got a proper photo of it taken from the film. Granted, this doesn't come straight from Sony and has instead been leaked, but we've confirmed with several sources that it is indeed real. And I have the picture right now, and it looks pretty nice. I think I heard one theory that it might be that Spider-Man might be working for S.H.I.E.L.D. in the movie. Because I think I heard that Nick Fury's in the movie, but I'm just kind of spoiling you guys, just a little bit. I'm spoiling you guys, but don't worry, that's pretty much all you probably can know from me, because I don't really know the whole, entirety of the whole film, because we don't. But anyway, because we didn't even see the trailer yet. The trailer hasn't come yet, but Endgame has. That's pretty good. Anyway, as for what exactly this new costume will be used for, well, like we said, Spidey is definitely going to need to go on to, into stealth mode at some point, and some believe Peter was given the suit as part of a collaborative mission with revitalized S.H.I.E.L.D. with some folks, even saying that they spotted a logo for the organization on the front of the outfit in a few set pics. Though we don't see such a thing on the leaked photo above, it's possible that it was simply removed to avoid spoilers for both this film and the preceding Avengers Endgame. Regarding it's great to finally get our first proper look at Spider-Man Far From Home. After all, with the trailer said to be delayed, this might be all we have to go on for a little while. But with things starting to ramp up now, you can bet that the marketing campaign will truly kick off in early 2019. Okay. Cool. Alright, that's pretty much it for that article. And now we're going to something else, but I'm going to talk about it for a little bit as I usually do. Yeah, okay. Okay, I might talk about it for a little bit long, but anyway, the suit. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that long. I have another article right here. It's about New Jersey. For the photo I saw, it looks pretty nice. But I feel like, when they change suits like that, it kind of messes up the continuity of the story. I feel like, they do that in Marvel movies, especially because it works to get people more interested in the character's look more than anything, because they do that. But I feel like they should do that more, I think, subtly. Like Captain America, when they did it, when he had the new suit, people were like, oh, they noticed it in the movies. It should be noticed in the movies that it's new, and not like. But I feel like, that's kind of like required at this point, because social media and the internet as a whole has become so demanding of, of people's attention, that we kind of filmmakers need to show off all the highlights of the film without spoiling too much of the film, because technically they are spoiling, because they said that Spider-Man's not going to help Shield, and they already confirmed that. Not Sony, but it's already easy enough to kind of, decipher from that. I mean, I didn't know. I was like, oh, a black suit, maybe that he's using for some weird mission. I don't know. I just kind of guessed, but they said, oh, Shield. I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. Because Shield has, all black. If you don't know the MCU, Nick Fury wears all black. But anyway. Okay, we're back. I had to check out technical difficulty, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, so as of now, we only know, well, at least that's my personal theory. Like Captain America might save his old self and alter time and basically make him older, or at least he may not do that, but he may instead not save him old self, but because he doesn't want to, like, maybe alter the past, so maybe he might just, after everything's all said and done, he might just go to the past, his 2018 version of Captain America, and just go there and just stay there, and just like live the rest of his life, in like the past, basically, So basically, his younger body, will still fight with the Avengers, but he will, pass away in silence, So probably be like a more, like a harmonic, send off, That's my personal theory, it might not happen, But anyway, here we go and read the It's on comicbook.com and reads Avengers Endgame. The fan theory suggests that Thor will travel to Alfheim. And now the first trailer of Avengers Endgame is here. Marvel fans are free to speculate what away about the actual movie will entail. Even though the first look at Endgame barely gave away any major plot details, there were enough hints and teases into it to fuel some fan theories about major events or developments that we'll see. Today we have one theory that has to do with the arc of Chris Hemsworth's Thor. Specifically, having the Thunder God travel to the bold new destination Elfheim, home of the light gods, light elves. My bad. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Only one of the 9 realms that hasn't yet played an active role in the MCU is Alfheim, which is the land of the light elves, with Avengers Endgame being the designated end of this first volume of MCU. Given the events of Infinity War, there are plenty of potential ways speculated for Thor to cross paths with Alfheim. As the new Lord of the 9 Realms, Thor may have to visit Alfheim after the snap. Alfheim could be the refuge of the surviving Asgardians. The Light Elves could be a potential army for Thor to lead against Thanos' army. The theorist goes on to point out clues that have arguably been sprinkled throughout the MCU all along. Among those clues is Eric Selvig's chalkboard theories from Thor: The Dark World, when his mind was still afflicted by the Mind Stone. Fans have been going back to examine those theories, which have become more and more relevant with the introduction of the quantum mechanics. I'm stopping right there because I'm getting a little tired just reading the article. I feel like you guys, every time I read the article, I feel like I'm getting a little slower every single day just reading the article. I feel like I might fall asleep. But it's not that the articles are boring. I'm just, reading them. I just want to make sure that you guys know what I'm going to be talking about, because I don't want to, just start talking, and get you guys not knowing the information. So once I tell you the information, make sure that you guys, are up to speed. And for Thor, for those who may not know, he's like a like superhero in the MCU, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But he's based on a Norse god, um, Thor, who's like a thunder god. And here we go. And I'll give you like an actual definition of it in the Norse mythology of it. And Alfheim, also called Lufisheim, is one of the 9 worlds and home of the Light Elves in Norse mythology. So basically, Alfheim is like this huge paradise. Basically, it's like the Norse version of heaven. So basically, Thor's gonna go back to heaven, to recruit some angels, and talk to his dad. But probably be like, "Hey, Dad, give me some tips, how to fight this guy." He's all like, "Hey, leave me alone, man. I'm trying to hang out with the people." You know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like with this theory, I feel like this theory is kind of like the time travel theory. I feel like the time travel theory was also out there, but it turned out to be sort of true. Not really. It's not confirmed yet. I feel like that's kind of like obvious. At this point, because people always talk about it. But I feel like the Elfheim thing is kind of like saying how Tony Stark's gonna meet Pepper Potts at the end of the movie. Avengers Endgame. Like, well, that's probably gonna happen. Because that's Tony's love interest. Soon to be wife. It's kind of obvious. Alpha. I'm not saying that the art, the theory in itself is not good. I'm just saying that I mean, okay, that's good. He's gonna go back to Alpha, but that kind of fits perfectly. If I'm going there, what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, it kind of fits. It fits because, from the way Thor is, he lost his brother, he lost his dad, he had to kill his sister, who was a villain in Thor Ragnarok, if you probably don't know, and he lost like half his people. So basically, half of the original Asgardians are still around. Thor's the only person to lead them. His brother's gone. No one in royalty, not even who was this other guy? Idris Elba played him. Oh man, I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, I forgot his name. I might do some research, but basically, Idris Elba's character is also gone. So basically, Thor's the only one left, to rule the kingdom. Baby, it's cold outside, and bring home the bacon are now offensive terms. So basically I can't say them anymore. Even I never really say them. I didn't even mention that slang. I mean that phrase. I would say that. I feel like it's like the most corniest phrase. But it's offensive. It's officially offensive. So yeah, on the Los Angeles Times, title is "They're just fine with baby it's cold outside and bring home the bacon." It's never really cold outside in Los Angeles. Offshore, we have unseasonable cool weather of the low in the mid 40s variety, but a normal midwinter evening outside just doesn't expose us to the same kind of hypothermia threat as spending a few minutes outside in Minnesota. By judging, but judging by the letters we've received on the controversy over the Christmas song "Baby It's Cold Outside," a duet involving a woman who just wants to go home but ultimately agreed to just one more drink with a man who did a lot of convincing to keep her inside, and the lack of proper winter in a southern California doesn't make this holiday classic any less appealing to our readers. And yeah, when composer Frank Loesser wrote "Baby It's Cold Outside" in 1944, he meant it as a lark for him and his wife to perform at parties to indicate to their guests it was time to leave. When a song is written, it usually reflects the contemporary era moral standards. When you think back to many of the suggestive and crude songs written since then, they are overt and offensive to women. So why not challenge them too? It's a form of censorship to advocate banning this 74-year-old song from the radio. And I heard about this, and I was completely, surprised. At one point, I'm gonna say it right here, so I can, just keep it more, so I can be honest with you ladies, because you're like my friends, my extended friends, my listeners. I mean, personally, I feel like it's neutral at this point, for me at least, when it comes to this issue for "Baby It's Cold Outside." Because on one hand, I do agree, yes, when I look at the article and I look at the lyrics right now, I start to, make some comparisons to the Me Too movement. I'm like, okay, this does make sense. This does, feel like I'm, this does feel like, like kind of like a sexual assault, song.